Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive.
Yeah, welcome back.
This time, we are going to be looking into something that I think a lot of people are really interested in,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how to reprogram your subconscious mind for success.
Oh yeah, I've heard a lot about this.
It's pretty fascinating stuff, and the jumping off point for our deep dive today is a podcast episode called Rewire Your Mind and Manifest Anything.
Sounds promising.
And one of the most intriguing things that they talk about in this episode is this idea that 95% of our lives,
Whoa.
95%,
Okay.
are controlled by subconscious beliefs that were formed when we were really, really little,
Really little, like how little?
between the ages of 0 and 7.
Oh wow. So
So like before we even,
yeah, before we even started school.
yeah. So think about that for a second. I mean,
That's wild.
our success or lack thereof might actually be determined by thoughts and beliefs that we formed before we even started elementary school.
I mean, it makes sense though, right?
Yeah,
Like when you think about it, I mean, so much of who we are is shaped by our childhood experiences.
totally.
It's just that we don't always realize how deeply those early experiences are actually wired into our subconscious.
Right, and that's what makes this whole topic so fascinating to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if we're not even aware of these subconscious beliefs that are driving our behavior, how can we change them?
Right. It's like trying to fix a bug in a computer program without knowing the code.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So before we dive into the how-tos of reprogramming, let's take a step back and make sure we all understand what we're actually dealing with here.
Yeah, what is the subconscious mind anyway?
I'm glad you asked, because that's where we're going next.
Okay, so think of your subconscious mind like a supercomputer
Okay.
that's running in the background 24/7.
Constantly.
Yeah, it's influencing our thoughts, feelings, and actions.
And it's mostly programmed by the time we're 7.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the operating system of a computer.
Yeah.
You know? It dictates how everything else functions.
I like that analogy.
Yeah, and so these early experiences, like what we see, what we hear, the messages we receive from our parents, teachers, all of that stuff.
All those things that were like soaking up like a sponge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They create these beliefs that get embedded in our subconscious, and those beliefs can be super powerful.
So you're saying that those childhood messages that we all hear, like money doesn't grow on trees or you're not good enough,
Oh yeah, all the classics,
they're actually like hardwired into our brains.
pretty much. And those beliefs, they can manifest in some pretty surprising ways later in life.
How so?
Well, think about it. If you grew up hearing that money was scarce, for example, your subconscious might be operating on that scarcity mindset even today,
Even if you're like a grown-up.
even if you're a grown-up with a good job. It can impact your earning potential, your spending habits, even your career choices.
That's kind of freaky when you think about it.
Yeah, it is. And it's not just about money either. You know, any negative belief that we picked up in childhood can hold us back in some way. Like if you were constantly told that you weren't good enough, you might struggle with self-doubt and insecurity as an adult.
Even if you're objectively like killing it in life.
Exactly, because on a subconscious level, you might still believe that you're not worthy of success.
So, okay, our subconscious is running the show based on some pretty outdated software. How do we even begin to reprogram it for success?
So the podcast episode lays out 3 key steps to reprogram your subconscious mind for success.
What are they?
They are identify, visualize, and reinforce.
Okay, identify,
Uh,
visualize, reinforce. I got it. Can you break those down a bit more for me?
Sure, so the first step, identify, is all about bringing those hidden limiting beliefs to the surface.
So we got to dig deep.
Yeah, exactly. You have to become aware of the negative thoughts and beliefs that are holding you back.
And how do we do that?
Well, the episode suggests actually writing them down.
So get out a pen and paper.
Yep, things like, I'm not worthy of success, or I'm afraid of failure. Once you see them clearly, you can start to challenge their validity.
Okay, that makes sense. But simply acknowledging those negative beliefs doesn't automatically make them disappear.
Right. That's where the second step, visualize, comes in.
Okay.
The source material emphasizes the power of visualization.
Visualization.
Yeah, and not just seeing your dream life, but really feeling it, experiencing those emotions of success and fulfillment as if it's already happening.
Like really immersing yourself in it.
Yeah, exactly. Like close your eyes and imagine yourself living your dream life. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What are you doing? Who are you with?
I've heard about visualization before, especially for athletes.
Oh yeah, it's a common technique.
But how does it actually reprogram the subconscious?
It's fascinating, really. Our minds are incredibly powerful, and they often struggle to distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one.
So you're saying that if I vividly imagine myself giving a killer presentation at work,
Yeah.
My subconscious mind won't necessarily know the difference between that and me actually doing it.
Right. And so consistent visualization begins to blur those lines, convincing the subconscious that those desired outcomes are not only possible, but probable.
So it's like we're tricking our subconscious into believing that we're already successful.
In a way, yeah. It's like planting seeds in fertile ground, allowing those new empowering beliefs to take root and grow.
I love that analogy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we identify the old beliefs and we replace them with new ones through visualization. What's the third step? Reinforce.
This is where it gets a little more unconventional.
Unconventional, how?
Well, the podcast episode advocates for a sleep technique.
What?
Yeah, where you essentially feed your subconscious positive affirmations and reprogramming audio as you drift off to sleep.
Okay, wait, hold on. The sleep technique. So as I'm falling asleep,
Yeah.
I'm like listening to affirmations.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta admit, that sounds a bit out there.
I know it sounds a little strange.
Is there any science to back that up?
You know, there's some evidence to suggest that our subconscious mind is more receptive to suggestions when we're in a relaxed state.
Like when we're sleeping?
Exactly, because our conscious mind kind of takes a back seat. So by repeating those affirmations and listening to guided meditations or specific audio programs designed for this purpose, you're basically giving your subconscious a positive update overnight.
So it's like downloading new software onto our computers overnight.
Exactly.
So maybe it's not so crazy to think we can do something similar with our minds.
Yeah, and even if you're a bit skeptical, it's certainly an intriguing idea, isn't it?
It is. Okay, so we've got our 3 steps. Identify limiting beliefs, visualize the life we want, and reinforce it all with the sleep technique. That's a lot to take in.
It is, but the good news is we can start applying these techniques today.
One step at a time.
Exactly. Just choose one belief that you want to change and start working on it.
This is awesome. I am so excited to try this out.
Yeah, me too. I think it's going to be a game changer.
And for all of you listening out there, we encourage you to join us on this journey of reprogramming your subconscious for success.
Absolutely, give it a try. What have you got to lose?
And if you're looking for more information on this topic, be sure to check out the podcast episode that we mentioned.
Rewire your mind and manifest anything.
Yeah, that's a great starting point.
And, as you embark on this journey of reprogramming your subconscious, I want to leave you with this question.
Okay, Amy.
What one limiting belief will you choose to reprogram today?
That's a great question.
Yeah, it's something to really think about.
Because remember, we have the power to shape our own reality.
Starting with the beliefs that we choose to hold in our minds.
Powerful stuff.
It is.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.